Hey everybody, welcome back to Age of Wonders 4. So this is going to, we'll have a separate intro video, session 0, but this is session 1 and we're at the beginning. So this is going to be one of our regular learn and plays. I'm going to talk about the game, what I like, what we're doing, all of those kinds of things, and try to survive as we go through the game. So this game has a really long history, which just again we'll talk about it as we go through it. It is an absolutely glorious, beautiful game. It's now been out for a bit, and it just finished season 2. It just released the last DLC of season 2, and they've said there's a season 3. We don't have any idea what's going to be in it, but it is coming out. So we're going to dive in and play. First, though, we're going to talk a little bit about who we are, what we're doing, all of those kinds of good things. So let's talk about leaders and heroes and rulers and stuff. So this is my ruler, Eri. Eri is Wizard King, as you can see right over here, and so they're a powerful wizard seeking dominion over a new realm. This whole lore and things and everything about it is about a series of wizard kings and other champions and people and dragons and eldritch sorcerers and all giants and all kinds of people who are moving between worlds, actually ruling worlds and exerting dominion. Again, we'll see a lot of the lore as we go through it, so I won't get into it. But you can play everything from massive warrior kings to wizard kings to all kinds of things. So Eri here has a lot of combat spell hero skills. We'll look at skills trees and all that stuff in a little bit. This game is a combination of 4X strategy, RPG, and I don't know, tactical tactical warfare. So it's got a little bit of everything as you go through it. Um, so there are lots of buildings in here. You're going to be building your own cities and capturing land and doing all kinds of things. Conduits are one form of those things. So a conduit is a province improvement. So you have provinces that you rule around your castles, and it provides mana. It boosts different requirements, and there's all kinds of specific things. Again, I'm not going to go through every line in here. We'll be here a long time. Now, it's important to also know that your cities have governors. So in this case, my ruler is also a governor who's also a hero that's out in the field. So they're doing multiple tasks. And so these add to, things they can do as they gain renown, which comes about through things that they accomplish. They get better, right? So this is sort of the RPG aspects of things, is that they level up. Your characters level up, your heroes level up, your units level up, etc., all the way through them. So everybody has skills. So, for example, Eri here can cast lightning bolts, and also has her emergency melee strike, which is pretty rare to use, but nevertheless it's there. She also has a channeling ritual that lets her cast an additional spell. Most units have defense mode, which means if they have points left at the end of its turn, they can move into a defense mode that will help them. She happens to also have the empowered by magic. She can gain strengthened, which allows us to do things. She's also the liege lord of their house. So there are also cultures in the game, and cultures define the governance mechanisms and the things of your race, your people. And in her case, because she's feudal, she has specific things around liege lord. Yeah, and you can go in, by the way, and modify everybody's opinion. I'm not going to do all that right now, but all of these can be things. Your mounts can change. You'll notice that she's got the white horse mount. It's a cavalry unit. There are many other choices. I don't think I can't see the other kinds here unless they were available. So for the moment, we'll take a look at those as we look at other races. She's also got her renown levels, you can see over here, and her major ambition is she wants a 40 fortification health city. And she got a minor ambition. She wants to win a battle in friendly territory. That will gain renown. And that's how you move up these renown levels, by accomplishing these tasks. All right. So she's also got some units in here with her. She's got her Bannerman, which is a support unit. You'll see free Sirens here. The free Sirens are their race, right? So you can see traits. Every race has a specific set of traits, empowered by magic, arcane focus. Again, I'm not going to go through all these, but now you'll see the cultural things that I was mentioning. So they're a feudal aristocracy, which gives them certain ways and things that they do. Experienced seafarers, ancient wise ones, etc. Now, if you want to hear the story of them, right, there's actually, complete backstories for almost everything in this game, and if there aren't, you can write them. And as a direct descendant of the first Sirens, Aerie grew up in reverence of the history of the Gloomwatch. Yet, as her talents as a wizard grew, her torment of shadows made her question her assigned burden as a cosmic protector. Instead, she decided to offer sanctuary to those who chose simpler lives, though in the astral sea, that itself is a challenge. The Free Sirens consist mainly of veterans and people who declined the duty and honor of the Gloomwatch in favor of a calmer life on the worlds within. Yet when threatened, they will stand their ground next to any other battle. Gotta be careful when you're going multi-chain down into the units. Let's see. I don't know if I can get the scroll to work in here. Let's see. I've never tried to scroll this deep. Well, we'll go into that in detail later. Our next unit's a Defender, which is a shield unit. They got a regular melee strike. These are your sturdy level 1, tier 1 units. So you'll notice there's tier 1, and then you'll see recruit, 0 of 4. So this recruit, a tier 1 unit, can go up 4 levels in here. And they also have land movement. Right? So then we have our archers, a ranged unit, tier 1. Again, can go up 4 levels. They can shoot a bow. They can do whatever they need to do. Related to range stuff. So pretty weak army to start with here. Again, you can see their movement up here. You can also see their army strength, 310 over here. Choices for things to do. You can enable auto explorer. We can wait. We can guard. We can view which armies would aid this army. And we can highlight all possible outposts founding. So as we want to expand our realm, we'll want to found outposts near resource nodes and other areas of interest that we want to capture later on. This both declares our intent and keeps other people from taking them, and forms the foundation for where we want to put our cities. So our first city is Valor's End right here. Again, I'm just going to try to talk about this as we go and just start playing. But Valor's End, she's the governor. You can see that here. Importantly, you can see the city state. It's currently stable, which adds to its production, draft, and food. So we'll go through the things here. Food is obviously how you gain new population. It's how you feed your people. You can see what your income, multipliers, population. You'll notice that the city structures and the multipliers are exceeding the population. So the population is the one eating the food. Production is how you build your city structures. Again, you get income, multipliers, etc. We'll apply this when we get down to the produce sections in the bottom. Draft is how you recruit units in the cities, and it's got its own income and structure around that. The city stability, as we mentioned before, is how your happiness of your people and how well it is. Cities can rebel, cities can leave, cities can do all kinds of things. So, Gold is just that, choose for units and building city structures. You'll find you're always in need of gold, just like in real life. And mana is all things you use for casting spells, and more importantly, summoning units. Summoned units drain mana every turn, so they put a restriction on how many you can summon, how many you can upkeep, all of those kinds of things. There are both city structures and resource nodes and all kinds of things that can contribute to you getting mana. Then we have knowledge, which is how we research everything. All of our knowledge comes from tomes in here. Tomes consist of a group of skills and things that are in buildings and such that are in there. We'll go through our tomes we picked in just a second, and you'll get a chance to see how that works. Again, income works the same way. And finally, we have Imperium, which is used for acquiring cities, speeding up development, negotiations with other people, lots of things. And it has its own tree, very similar to a skill tree or anything else that you purchase units and things, skills through that Imperium tree. Um, so we could scroll through if we had more cities. We can always see, what house we're in because again, we're feudal. So different groups of our units will belong to different houses. And so the liege lord of each of those houses, as we get another hero, they'll found another house and another house and another house. So our governance mechanism and our kind of ruling mechanisms all go from that form of feudal society. So, again, detailed stuff around how all these works. I'm not going to go through all this right this minute. What I do want to impress on everybody is how deep and awesome this game is. Some people tend to measure 4X games by civilization, right? Whatever version's out, 6, 5, 6, 7, etc., or whatever their favorite is. This game has been going just as long, almost just as long as Civilization, 20 odd years. And so it is just as deep, just as complex, just as nuanced, just as has a passionate fan base around it, all of those kinds of things. So while you're going to see a lot of things that might look like Civ sometimes, just bear in mind it does work differently. There are different strategic choices you're going to make, different ways of unit, different levels of diplomacy. I mean, diplomacy in here, crushes diplomacy, for example, in Civ, the way it works, the things you can do, how you can trade, all your individual units in here have much more character and structure than Civ. It's like, in Civ, if one unit has an artillery unit and the other Civ has an artillery unit, they're exactly the same. I mean, except when you have special units. Here, every culture, every structure, everybody's units are different. Yes, they sometimes make use of the same skills, but they combine them in different ways. So as we talk about which units to get, which to recruit, who we're fighting, where we're fighting them, this has multiple terrain options. Again, unlike Civ and others, it actually has above ground, below ground, and then special areas, which we'll see some of as we go through here. So again, very different in many ways. All right. So this is, for example, a diplomatic overview. We won't get into this because we don't know any of them yet. Also in this game, there are things called free cities. We haven't found any yet. These are not subject to any ruler, and we'll be trying to woo those over. In this particular game, we selected as part of our setup rules that we'll have fewer cities than normal. Right? Same thing with races. We won't see the other races. Now, one thing you'll see right here around the free sirens, right, and all of their stuff, is that they have these affinities. So the sirens are both nature affinity, which each of these affinities govern different areas of what you do. And you'll see these expressed in spells and trees and ways that we do things. Order affinity, which is the next one, which is, bringing structure. Think of this as the law affinity, if you will, from a, D&D standpoint. And then finally, the astral affinity. This is your, magic affinity, positive magic affinity. You'll see a negative magic affinity trait. So you'll see that the astral affinity is opposed by materium. So each of these affinities, have an opposition. So order is opposed by chaos, right? And nature is opposed by shadow, right? Shadow affinity is that negative magical affinity that I was talking about. Now, empires and free cities and everybody that have different affinities will obviously have lower like and dislike, functions around things. Quests, these are our questions. You can see our victory conditions around here and what it takes to do them. Again, you can go through all of these and see exactly what the victory conditions are. We're not going to worry about those right now. History will start to do that. You'll also notice that you can do a thing called create a bounty. So if you've got a mission you want somebody to go on, you can actually, put a bounty out there and make your own. And the quest function will also see our quests that we need to go after. Those will show up here. You can see our heroes. Right now we'll only see our own. You'll also see we can imprison heroes, and sometimes they're dead, which means you can resurrect them, take their stuff, all kinds of things. There are also collections of things that need to happen. There are void stones, ores, liquids, plants that all need to be collected that do different kinds of things. Again, we'll talk about that as we go. Each of your cities will be in here. You can actually see whether it's available to annex new provinces, what the status is, what they're doing, all that kind of good stuff. And then your armies. You can see all of your armies. All right, let's see. Let's go. All right, we're not going to talk anymore. We're going to go get to work. So first off, let's take our scout. So this is a scout unit. They're basically a lightweight. I think they notice that they are empowered by magic in here. That means that they have the ability to do that. They're got our highest movement. They're going to be the ones to go out and find stuff. So let's head out this direction. One of the things you can do on the map is you can kind of see, get an idea where things are. Like you see this tower off in the distance over here. That usually is one that reveals things around it. There's another one over here. That's probably our closest one. Yeah, let's probably head for the closest tower just so we can see what's going on out there. Let's get after it. All right, lots of stuff out here. This is actually an umbral gate. So as I mentioned, there's the underground and then there's the umbral abyss. So that's a third kind of area that we can go into. As you can imagine, something called the umbral abyss is with a bunch of tentacles on top of it is not a nice place. We won't be checking that out just yet, but we will be going into the umbral abyss to take care of some of the naughty things that live down there.